Auto safety experts are demanding action this morning on what they call a serious safety defect. As a newly obtained crash test video shows, when cars are hit from behind, the front seats can break, injuring the drivers and the passengers, especially young children. Chris Van Cleve has been investigating this and joins us now. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. The move comes days after a Texas jury awarded more than a $120 million verdict against one automaker for a problem car companies admit would only cost a couple of dollars to fix, and children are paying the price. Some of the images you are about to see may be disturbing. It happens in an instant. An 11-year-old Jesse Rivera Jr. is living with the consequences. In 2012, he was sitting behind his father in the family's Audi sedan when it was rear-ended.
We're constantly told, put your children in the back seat. You know, you just don't know that this danger's there.
Jesse Sr.'s seat broke, launching him head-first into his son. Both were taken to the hospital, where his wife Kathy broke the news.
She said, it's bad. He's got a real bad hand injury, and he may not make it through the night. And so I started praying again. I said, God, please don't take my boy.
Jesse was left with permanent brain damage. After watching crash test videos like this, the jury ruled young Jesse's injuries resulted from Audi's gross negligence. In a deposition for the case, a company engineer said the car was designed so someone in the back seat would support the front seat with his knees. And here is the Audi attorney talking to the EMT who responded to the accident scene.
So you're saying that the seat's supposed to do that?
Absolutely, proudly so. It is absorbing energy.
Those Audi seats met or exceeded the federal standard for strength, a standard so low even a banquet chair could pass.
200.
So that passes.
That passes the standard.
Nearly every major American, Japanese, and Korean automaker has seen similar cases recently. Internal documents show car makers and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, have known about the potential for seatback collapses for decades.
Shame on them. My boy wouldn't be hurt if they'd have done their job.
NHTSA insists it has looked into the issue, but it is very challenging to upgrade the standard because these accidents are so rare.
Pump it up.
Our CBS News investigation has so far identified more than 100 people nationally who were severely injured or killed in apparent seatback failures since 1989. Most were children. 17 have died in the past 15 years alone, like 7-year-old Crystal Butler.
My child got turned into a human safety device, an airbag. She saved my life. It wasn't supposed to be that way.
16-month-old Taylor Warner loved the water and was just learning how to walk.
She had about 6 weeks that she was toddling around, and then it was over.
5 years ago, the Warners' 2010 Honda Odyssey was rear-ended at 55 miles an hour. Taylor was in her car seat behind her father.
I thought maybe she had just fallen asleep, and then when I looked and I realized that there was blood coming out of her face, I knew that something else was wrong.
That something was her father's seat back. It broke, collapsing on impact, and struck Taylor in the face, killing her.
And it was all because of some stupid car that we thought was the safest thing we could, get for our family to protect them.
But crash tests like this one show what can happen when a seat collapses. The driver is launched backwards and slams into the child's face. Drivers can also be injured when their heads crash into objects in the back seat. 70-year-old Geneva Massey was paralyzed 4 years ago when the seat of her 2002 Dodge Caravan broke after the minivan was hit from behind.
They had changed the government safety standards to where, the seat back wouldn't fail, then we would still have a 6-year-old running around.
How do I, as a consumer, know if I've got a strong seat or a weak seat?
There's no way of knowing as a consumer.
You want to go get in?
Liz and Andy Warner don't take any chances now.
Go climb in and then we'll come buckle you.
They make sure their 3 surviving children are buckled into the middle seats or third row, far away from passengers whose seats could collapse.
I'm sure everybody who buys a car would pay $50 more to make sure that this doesn't happen to them. I know I would.